Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here since day one, which is since August, welcome back. And I film about a few times a month and they are literally about everything, and I think that's kind of cool and unique. And yeah, so if you want to know how I did this technique of highlighting and contouring first and then foundation, then please keep watching. Okay, so I guess this technique works like this. You're supposed to be putting your concealer and your contour, cream contour on before your foundation. So I've seen this on so many videos. I mean, I've seen it on Tati when Scott Barnes did it. I've seen it, I think, on Amrezy. And it just kind of gave me the idea of like, you know what, I've seen it before. I don't like a cake face either. So I heard this kind of gives you that contoured look, airbrush look, but without having so much foundation on. And I'm all for it. So the concealers I'm going to be using today, I know some people might say, why don't you just use a lighter concealer, like a lighter formula. I personally love these, and this is what I'm into right now. So I just want to use the stuff that I normally do love, and I don't want to be using stuff that, let's say, I don't know, really works. So I want to make sure I like this technique, and I want to make sure that I like it mostly on me. So I've wanted to try it out, and I have two colors here. One's a little bit lighter, one's a little bit darker. My holy grail product that I have to use, or else I don't care how thick a concealer is, I always feel like darkness still shows underneath. I have to use the Becca Under Eye Corrector, and I got the shade Light Medium. So I'm just going to be grabbing a little brush, and I just like to put a little bit on. I've already done my skincare and prepped my skin, and of course eye cream, because this thing is a little bit heavy, and I just like it to glide on smooth. Never tug and pull. You should always use your ring finger because it's the one that applies the least amount of pressure, and just kind of like that. Okay, so I'm going to be trying out again this technique because I've seen it all over, and I figured what a cool, cool trick. And it might work for others, it might not work for you, but this is why we're trying. And like I've said in so many of my videos, it's just fun to play with makeup, and if I don't like it, I can always wash it off. So I'm grabbing the darker one, and I like to bring on the side of my nose, just a little bit right here, a little bit of darkness right around my lips. So I'm just gonna be grabbing the Beauty Blender, and I'm just gonna be having all this. So I'm going to be using this baby right here. Again, I'm using the stuff that I use all the time just because I really want to see if this technique works for me. This is the KKW Contour Stick in Dark. I am obsessed with this. The consistency, the blendable aspect of this is unbelievable. If you haven't tried it, I guarantee you will love it. If you do, get your hands on it. I naturally already have a little bit of a cheekbone, but I like to go just above it, just slightly above. Okay, now I'm gonna do my nose. I'm never really precise with this because I end up going over it anyways. So I just kind of do that. It looks so fabulous, don't I? I went a little bit higher on this side by mistake, but it's totally fine. Again, with this product, it's really blendable, so I really am not worried whatsoever. I am taking this Tarte brush that I am obsessed with. It blends everything so good. I mean, the product has to be great, but the tools is really key as well. And I'm just kind of stippling it because it's all going to be blended out anyways with the foundation. So it really doesn't have to be so perfect. And I feel like with foundation and then you contour, it has to be perfect and you have to watch how you blend. So this is the first, I feel like, positive to this technique, but the end result is what really matters, right? I'm using the Matte Poreless Maybelline foundation. This is in the shade 310 Sun Beige. I'm just taking the little part of the Beauty Blender on the bottom. The only thing that sucks about this foundation is that it's not a pump. So I feel like you gotta watch kind of like how much you tip it over, because you can get it quite a bit. So I have this much. It still looks like a lot. I tried to dump some back again. You know, you gotta just have to be careful with this. So what I'm going to do, this foundation does not dry quickly in my opinion. And plus I'm using a damp beauty blender. So I'm just gonna spot it all over. So we'll see. We shall see. It's going a little bit over the nose. I'll do the lips last just so I don't get contour or the darker shade all over my whole entire face. And then it's just gonna ruin it all. So now that I did most of the face, I'm just gonna go over the lips. Like, it looks like I have fuller lips, or at least put on a lip liner when I didn't. Maybe next time I won't go over like the line so much, but I feel like you can still kind of see it because I didn't put on like crazy amount of foundation. I don't know. I think this technique needs a little bit of practice. I mean, this is my first time trying this technique and it is on camera. So I feel like practice makes perfect with everything, right? Even with makeup, I mean, I didn't start off doing really good, especially on myself. It just took practice. Setting powder is really important to me, especially underneath my eyes, because I will crease. I always go on the side of my nose. So I'm just going to be taking the Mercury Retrograde palette from Huda Beauty, and I'm just going to be mixing Utopia, and I'm going to be mixing Karma. So I'm taking this Huda Beauty blending brush, this double-ended one, and I'm grabbing both shades. It just kind of elevated the look and kind of deepened up the contour that I already did on my eyelids. This eyeshadow palette is really pigmented. I reviewed it and did a makeup look on it. If you want to watch that video, I will link it below. I think you all will really enjoy it. I enjoyed filming it, and it's such a beautiful palette. Just kind of putting that on, but extending it at the top. Just kind of give a cat eye look without being so aggressive. Again, if you watched my video about this palette, what I really loved is this shade right here. This is called Super Moon, and I said it reminds me of snow, and it's so pretty. I don't think you guys can see, maybe you can, but it's like this glistening white. It's so pretty, and I thought that would be a nice shade just to kind of like highlight just underneath my brows. Now the baking has been on for a little bit, so I'm going to just wipe it away. So to contour my face, like to kind of like set the contour that I originally did, I'm going to be using the Anastasia contour kit in, what shade is this? Light medium. You can tell how I've used and abused this because look at this packaging. But the products is so good. So I'm just taking this MAC brush. This is MAC 164. It's like an angled stippling brush. I'm just mixing these two shades right here and just going on the perimeter of my face and everywhere I had contoured, cream contoured. To set my nose contour, I'm going to be grabbing the same two shades right here. I always go on the tip of my nose. Again, I just want to set everything that I did already, and I always bring it to my eyebrows just so it kind of looks like one. I don't have the steadiest hands. If you've watched my latest video reviewing the Scott Barnes palettes, you guys know I have asthma and I take my inhaler and I use it with a chamber, which means if you don't have asthma, you're blessed. But it's basically this tool that attaches your inhaler to the other end, and it basically gives you 90% more of the inhaler versus just taking on its own, which gets you only 50%. So what that does, it just goes through your system a lot better. Obviously, you're getting 90% of the dose versus the 50%. So I get kind of shaky. So I don't have the steadiest hands, but I mean, it's okay. I've learned, you know, to just kind of cope with it, and it is what it is. At least I have lungs, so I'm always grateful. And yeah, so either I could do it quickly, or if I take my time, I just kind of like I shake. But again, it's absolutely fine. It's my imperfection, but it's still something that, you know what, I go through on a day-to-day basis. But again, I'm grateful to still have lungs and still be healthy, and there's so many other people that have it worse. So okay, so before I continue on to cheeks and everything like that, I'm grabbing the same palette, the banana shade, this Smashbox brush, just grabbing something like that and just going on, and that just kind of cleans it all up. It fixes my mistakes. Of course, I'm going to be using my new favorite, the Scott Barnes palette, blush palette, and I'm going to be mixing, I'm going to try something different. In my last video, I mixed Strika Rose and I mixed Mango Fizz, which I really loved, but I want to look a little bit more bronzier, so I'm going to take the slightest amount of what is this, Crush and Blush. So this is a little bit of the darker one, but I'm grabbing a bigger brush just so it's not so strong. I want it to look airbrushed. I'm going to be mixing that with the Mango Fizz. So I'm going to take a little bit. Okay, so one of my favorite parts is highlighting. I'm using the Scott Barnes new highlighter palette. It's this beauty right over here, just this baby right here. Because again, I want a bronzy look. So pretty. I'm definitely gonna mix another shade though, because I just got this palette, so I really want to try eventually like all the shades. But I've been home the last few days and I haven't had a chance to really play with them. I always put a little bit above my brow bone, just kind of, you know, makes it look really pretty. Again, I love that this has a mirror. Look lit from within. And that's what this really does. It looks so like it's your skin, you know what I mean? It looks like it's definitely lit from within. And that was one thing that I really emphasized in my latest video, because I think it's important to not only look good in pictures, but to look good in person and for it to still look like you, right? So I quickly put on mascara off camera, and I'm going to finish off the lips with these products. I'm going to be using the Stay All Day Liquid Lipstick. I'm going to be using the lip liner in, from MAC in Staunchly Stylish. And for lipstick, I'm going to be using the Stila. You guys, so this is the finished look. I really like it. I have to be honest, I think I just need a little bit more practice, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what's fun about makeup. I've said it numerous times. I'm probably like a broken record, but it's just fun to play around with makeup. If you mess up, it's totally fine. You can just start over or just learn some new tips and tricks for next time. I mean, it is what it is. I really do think the technique, if you can master it, I feel like it is a really good tool if, you know, you don't want to look cakey. And yeah, I mean, I really like how it turned out. I feel like I just want to practice more. Maybe next time when I do the cream contour, maybe I won't put the foundation over it. Maybe I'll just go like around it, or maybe do what Scott Barnes did and maybe do like a darker shade here and do the lighter foundation here. I mean, yeah, I just want to practice, but overall, I think it looks good. I think it all kind of, you know, goes together. Of course, I love the highlight, the blush. Yeah, I really like it. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. I film about a couple times a month, and I film it on everything if you don't already know. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed it. I enjoy filming it as always, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you all.